Hey guys, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shanna. If you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4 entering our 5th year of homeschooling. We have a 4th grader and a kindergartner. So I'm not saying I'm an expert, but what I am saying is I have 10 tips for you beginners who are just starting out. Before we go any further, guys, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. It's happening again. We have so many people who just did not know they were gonna be here with us, but welcome. We love you. We are here to help you. It can be scary and it can be terrifying. So I am going to share just 10 basic tips to help you get started. These are easy peasy. You can do them. Anybody can. They are not actually too specific. They are just those little things like little reminders. Keep this list, reference it as much as you need to, and it will get you through. I promise. These are not in any particular order. These are just what I jotted down that I thought would be really important. And you know, some of you guys just might not agree with them, and that's cool. We all are just gonna stay friendly and happy here. If you have anything to add to this list, write on down in those comments, please. Please share. It helps the entire community. It helps me. I've gotten so many great tips and recommendations and things like that from the comment sections on these videos, and I am so grateful for it. Okay, let's start. Let's jump in, shall we? Number 1. I guess this is just 10. Like, they're not in an order, okay? Like, they're gonna call it number 1 because that's how I wrote down my piece of paper, okay? So number 1, homeschooling isn't for everyone. So it is really important to get honest with yourself. I have been a small business owner for 11 years now. That's not for everybody, and that's okay. It's not for everyone because, you know, I worked in a salon, so I had to secure rent and supplies and manage my own schedule of clients and manage payment systems and make sure I paid my taxes and document all my income. There's a lot of work that goes in with being autonomous, right? So it is important to be honest with yourself. As a homeschooling mom, dad, homeschooling person, it is important to be honest with yourself if you're really gonna do what it takes to do this. Because you don't wanna fail. And I'm not saying you're gonna fail. I'm just saying that you're gonna have a lot more success if you are honest with yourself about when you're making your plans, it's important to map out, are you gonna stick to a schedule? Are you going to do something? It's important. You don't wanna go in without any plan. You can lightly plan, and sometimes unschooling is the plan, and that's okay, that's perfectly great. But it's important to be honest with yourself if you're going to do it, if you're gonna give it what it takes. Homeschooling isn't for everyone. That also means that the people it's not for are gonna tell you some things. They're gonna tell you all the things that they know, that they've heard, because homeschooling isn't for them. Okay, so you also need to be pretty resolute in how you're gonna handle that. So how you're gonna handle you, how you're gonna handle that. Now this leads right into, you need to be being honest with yourself. You need to know if you are truly going to be passionate about this, because across the board, I don't care what kind of homeschooling parent you are, secular, non-secular, unschooled, Charlotte Mason, it doesn't matter. Homeschooling parents are passionate about engaging their children in learning. That is what will make you successful or unsuccessful. You can be absolutely successful and prepare your child perfectly for the world through unschooling if you take your passion for learning and apply it to them. If you think that unschooling is just letting them do willy-nilly whatever, that's not it, guys. That's just lazy. By being honest with yourself, by having that passion for learning, you truly create learning in everything, and your children will thrive. If you're just gonna leave them to their own devices, and literal devices, then that's not going to be successful. So you need to bring a passion to homeschooling, a passion for learning. So many people are inherently inspired and have a love of learning, that this really can't suit them well. Again, unschooling can be super successful because you're bringing the passion to learning. If you aren't bringing that, it probably won't work. You need to be honest with yourself. It is important, following right along here, to know your homeschool style. If you know, I work from home, I run a business, I do other things, I'm here on YouTube. I need more of an open and go. If I got sucked in to every little homeschool fad that came my way and I thought that I needed to do, buy like 3 sheets of paper and then compile everything from classic literature and we're gonna read together for 4 years every day, like that's not gonna serve me or my homeschool, because that's not gonna serve me. It's not gonna get done. I need to be honest with myself and know my homeschool style. And the flip side of that is don't get sucked into all the things, because if you get sucked into all the things that you know aren't for you, that you know aren't gonna serve you. If I got sucked into a lot of these fads that are going on right now, poetry tea time, like these aren't things I'm gonna do. And if I do, I'm gonna hate that I'm having to do them, like then I'm not gonna be successful. So know your homeschool style and then like stick to it. Don't get sucked in. But the next point is know when to quit, okay? So if you know that you really love the idea of a nature-based program outside and you love it and it really feeds you, but your kids like super hate it. And then every day we're like yelling and fussing and screaming to make them go outside because you want to do this thing that you love and it's so pretty and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Guess what? You need to know when to quit. Sometimes you gotta quit. It's okay to quit. Okay? You don't have to stick with everything. If you try something and it's not working, and maybe you tried one math, and guess what? It sucks. You don't love it. Try something else. It is okay to quit. It is really important to remember to be flexible, because flexibility is really what homeschool is all about. Okay? That's what makes this really successful across so many learning styles and across so many platforms for so many people. It's because homeschooling is gloriously flexible. It's important to know when to quit, okay? It's okay to quit. Quit. Guys, I gotta say it because we all say it, right? Socialization. If you're worried that your kids, as a beginner, if you are worried, this is your first year, you're not in public school, you're freaking out, you don't know what to do, you're worried about your kids socializing, they will socialize. You do have to put a little bit of effort into it because you are not like just sticking them in a classroom with 25 of the people who will wind up being their closest friends. You actually get to a little bit more pick and choose. And I'm not saying you should pick and choose your kids' friends, but what I'm saying is my daughter's very best friends are from dance, and they have dance in common. It's not just because it's the kid they sat next to in class. They have passions that are similar, and therefore they have goals that they work toward together, and they enjoy these things together. My child is so socialized. I remember there were people in our lives who were like, what about socialization? And then now they're like, man, she's got more stuff to do? Don't you ever stay home? No, we don't. If you're starting out, it can be a little intimidating to see so many homeschool curriculums and like the cost and the scariness. You do not have to buy expensive things to be successful for homeschool. So don't freak out thinking that you need a big budget. It makes it, I think, a little bit of a deterrent for so many people when they do see the cost of things, but you do not have to do that. You really can find things on a more economical budget or secondhand or do them yourselves. It's perfectly fine. You don't need to have a big budget to homeschool. You also do not have to have everything at the same time. So let's say you can get something now and you can't get another piece for a month. Guess what, guys? That's okay. Homeschooling is flexible. So if you do drop $100 on the math curriculum this week, but you can't buy the next language arts curriculum until payday, that's okay. There's no strict tried and true thing that you have to do them all at the same time. You can start slow and you can do homeschooling on a smaller budget. So please keep in mind that you don't have to have a big budget, and you also don't have to start all at once. You can start slow. You can try it out. You can start with just the core subjects, just the requirements, and then move on. Requirements. It's important when you're starting out that you know the laws, rules, and requirements in your state. This really can make or break your homeschool if you aren't following the laws from the beginning. If you need to keep grades, if you need to keep attendance, if you need to have a proctor. These are things that you need to know before you start homeschooling, and there are a lot of resources out there to help you with that. It's really easy. Here in Texas, you can go right to the Texas Education Agency website and look up the requirements for homeschooling. It's very easy. So look it up in your state because every state is different, but make sure that you are right from the start, right from your foundation, complying and conforming with those homeschool laws. Now, something that's gonna help you out when your days get long and hard and your kids don't wanna do it and you just are debating on whether or not you should quit. If you write down why you want to start homeschooling now, if you write down the good days, if you write down the things where you just realize that your kids had a spark that it really will keep you going. We travel a great deal with our kids, and my daughter the other day was able to, she was talking with one of her friends about Ford's Theater. And then she's like, do you know where he was shot? And she was like, her friend was like, you know, at the theater, and she's like, yeah. And she's like, but do you know where he died? And she's like, at the theater. And she's like, no, he died at the Peterson house across the street. When you realize, when you hear your children saying the things they have learned, when you hear your children, you know, skip counting, when you hear them reading, when you hear them using the knowledge that you know that they have gained from you and from your homeschool, it is so inspiring. So as you see that, make a note, save it. When you have officially figured out why you want to homeschool, make a note, because those things are really great to be able to look back on the hard days, or when you're getting. Honestly, nobody in our home life really complains about homeschooling anymore because the proof is in the pudding. My kids are able to do things. My kids are articulate. They are not behind, for lack of a better term. They both have cousins their exact same age. So just keep record of that for you. That's for you when you are struggling. So no, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you what to do in this video. I didn't tell you what to buy. I didn't tell you how to solve it and how to fix it. But these are tips for beginners that maybe aren't talked about enough, because the beginning is the hard part, right? Like the first step, once you get the momentum, you'll get there. And so much of it does come from experience that it's hard to tell you on the front side what to do. I struggled so much finding what to use and how to do this. And it was hard and it was lonely. So please come back here. If you need any support, love, and encouragement, go right on down to these comments. Find me over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. We're here for you, okay? And again, I know that there are a lot of you who are here who never thought you'd be in this position. Just like last year, there were so many people, and so many of those people said, oh, that's not for me. But so many more of those people said, I didn't know I could do it. I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know our family could survive this, and we love it and we're thriving, and I will never change. I'm never going back. So I hope that becomes you if that's what serves you. If it's just for a semester, that's great too. Do your best, you're doing great. If it's just until the vaccine comes out, I hope that's really soon. Whatever helps you. We are here as this network of secular homeschoolers, and I'm so glad that you found us. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for staying.